and welcome to our wealth course. So this is the first video, and I might send it to some of you as an email to kind of give you a glimpse of what this amazing course entitles. And we're also going to have, depending on how the course goes, we're going to have different Zoom classes where you could do Q&A. So I suggest that as you take each class, because the videos will be different lessons, right? So as you do different one, I suggest that you have a journal with you. Of course, you're gonna get printables with the course, but I suggest you get like a journal or even a notepad, even post-its, something that you could jot down, maybe questions that you have. So when we do have the live Zoom class, you could interact, ask the questions, and then we could unfold and tap in, to new magic and whatnot. So the first lesson that I want to talk about is something that nobody really thinks about, and it is deciding what money you really want, right? I get individuals that come to me all the time for rituals, and they're like, Daisy, I want to be a millionaire. And then automatically in their mindset, the only way of getting those $1 million is by winning the lottery. Every time somebody tells me they want to be a millionaire, it's always through the lottery because their mindset is not a wealth mindset. So they don't feel that they could achieve millions of dollars with something that they do concrete. So this course is going to teach you the energy of money, is going to teach you wealth rituals, beautiful wealth rituals that the elite use to manifest great riches. Now, everybody's success is very different. For example, if you see me, I'm a t-shirt girl. I like dresses, but my wealth is spending time with my family. It goes to vacations, of course, my retirement, because I'm already almost 50 and I want to make sure that I could, enjoy my retirement the way that I have intended, that I'm already planning out, which is really important. And this is part of the wealth course, is to get you into the organization of mapping out your life. Your life is your blueprint. It's what you make of it. And you could either be that shrimp on the wave, allowing it to push you here or there, or you could take things into your own hands and steer your own ship and paint your own canvas. Now that we've decided, I want you to think of a number that you want to manifest financially. And for me, in the beginning, it was 6 figures. I remember I had coworkers that were making 6 figures, and I thought that was so amazing. And I was like, I want to do this. If they could do this, I definitely could do this. So I already had that inspiration of people around me that were making these 6 figures. And I was making $35,000 a year, which in today's age, that is not money. That's poverty. I don't care what anybody says. $35,000, just my rent alone is $24,000 a year. So, and then I want you to think of what you're going to give in exchange for that prosperity. And that's the secret right there. No one ever thinks that. Everybody, I'm telling you, every time I hear it, I want $1 million, I want the lottery. Nobody ever thinks of, I want this, I'm going to exchange it for that. You have to have something in exchange to offer in order to receive. For example, when I created this course, I created a blueprint. So I want you to really, the point of my class is to break everything down to such an extent that you could really see it, envision this. So I created my wealth course. Every class has its topic, and at the end, I saw a number that I wanted to manifest. And then I said, okay, how much do I have to charge per course, per person, to create the outcome of this intention? Do you see how I broke that down? And then at the same time, in the beginning, I always think about, I have my Patreon supporters that support me every single month from $2 to $500. You know, I have Patreons that every single month support me in this way. So I have to think about them first. So I have to make my course an amount that is so ridiculous that anyone could, you know, because any class that you're going to take, if you're going to go to school and take an art class, how much is a cooking class? You know, think about that. How much is it if you're going to go and take a cooking class? They'll run you a couple $100, at least a good cooking class, you know. So I had to see everything, and I want you to really map that out, because your homework today is thinking the money that you want to make, and then allowing the creative flow of how you're going to make this money. Now, I'm going to give you different examples and different stories. It doesn't always have to be a business. I have a client that I do healing work for every single month. She's been my client since she was 19 years old, and she's almost 30. So imagine that. And she has a really good job. She went to school, she got her degree, and she has a great job. But that job has expansion, it has growth. So her ideal was, I want to drive a BMW. I want my job to pay for my housing, and of course stream this amount. You know, she likes to buy herself things. She's young. You know, she like I said, she's just gonna turn 30. And she worked really, really hard for this profession, and she had a mindset of and she mapped it out, because I taught her that. I taught her at a very young age in all of our, you know, one-on-one sessions, because we do a lot of, and we do a lot of readings, and she understands when I go into hermit mode and all, but she's always like, are you ready? Are you out of hermit mode? Let's go. Because she has learned that we need mentors. We need individuals that influence us in positive ways, you know, and having, you know, spiritual readings. I get readings too. I go to other enlightened spiritual people that, of course, I do readings for myself, but that they could confirm the things that I'm seeing or share with me stuff that I might not see. Decide on the money that you want to stream in, and then, where is this money coming from? Where is the universe going to offer and give you this money? Remember, life is an energy of giving and receiving. And that's why we have the yin yang. The right is to give, the left is to receive. So when we understand this concept, that we break it down to a very basic elementary level and comprehend, your world will cease to amaze. You will have the income, the flow, the prosperity, all aligning. And I will tell you this from personal lesson: always listen to the lessons, listen to the universal laws of money, because there are universal laws of money. There are. And if we do not take action on them, if we don't act upon them, then no matter how much money we make, we're going to spend it. It's going to go. And I'm going to teach you that too. Now, like I said, my goal was that I wanted to make 6 figures. And even though, like I said, my coworkers were doing it, I couldn't see myself, because that was like far-fetched. Because it wasn't like far-fetched, but it was like I wasn't making it. You know, it's like I was at 35,000. So I wanted to get to the point that I wanted to not only have my job, because, you know, like I said, they were coworkers that were making this money. But I also wanted to have the freedom of having outside income, like a business, something that just flowed. And at that point in time, I did do my spiritual stuff, but it was very hobby like, it was friends and family, and this friend told her neighbor and her neighbor told that person. So it was like that. And yeah, I would get a reading here, a ritual there, but it wasn't like I didn't know about on-calls. Like I didn't have any of that, And then that is the magic of connecting with the universe. So I will never forget that and this was like, I opened my Etsy shop in 2013. So I was on Etsy. There weren't a lot of people like me. There was a few of us that had beautiful spiritual shops. There were some that were really successful, and I looked on for inspiration and ideas. And there was this one girl that she was the only one that had this, that she offered on-call psychic services. And it's funny because I can't find her anymore. Like, I don't see her anymore. And I was like, that is such a great idea. And she charged, mind you, where she was, I don't know if she sold any, to tell you the truth, but she was charging $25,000 for a year of on-call services. And I was like I told you, I was making 35. One client, $25,000 a year. So if I got 2 clients, that would be 50. 3 would be 75, and 4 would be my 6 figures. All I needed was 4 clients to manifest that stream of income. Now, here's the problem. I didn't see anybody forking over 25 grand for me to be their psychic, because when you have that poverty mindset, because the people around you are not wealthy, because yes, I had people that made 7 figures, but it's always that someone else energy, right? Someone else is doing. I'm not doing. They're doing it, but I'm not doing it. And then ego plays in. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. Who's got $25,000? Like, that's ego. They will feed the crap out of you. I decided, okay, so I'll do it. I'm new at this. I'm really good, because I've always known that I've been great at what I do. But like I said, I didn't see a client that would, pay that type of money. So what I did was I made smaller, and I still do them, because I also like for people to be able to afford me, especially that right now there are so many creditors that are not American Express or, MasterCard. You have now Afterpay and Klarna, and I think there's another one. Even when I go fix my car, I don't, because sometimes I want 4 tires that are $1,000, So, I don't want to fork over $1,000. I want to give you $1,000, and then so I'll do some, one of those things that I only have to give $200, and then it gives me that leeway to pay the $1,000 in a substantial time, and I get my nice brand new tires. So you start to get comfortable with the idea that you deserve, an income of $100,000 a year, right? And you could see, like, I could see $5,000. I could see someone paying me $5,000 for 3 months. And the truth is, I didn't want to be anybody's on call for a year. I didn't want to have someone pretty much own me, and that's why I understand why she charged $25,000, because doing our line of work, the real ones, because there's a lot of spiritual psychics now, but individuals that really connect with spirituality, that work with the spiritual realm, it takes a lot of energy. And sometimes, like, I'm the type of person that I need time off. So 3 months was perfect timing for me to give someone my attention. And of course, I had my limits. So there's your next lesson. What is it that you're going to offer in exchange? And then organize it. Okay, and of course, I'm using my work as an example to teach you how I broke everything down, because it becomes overwhelming when you see the bigger picture, when you see the six figures. Break it down to how I said, okay, for 25,000 clients, right? And I broke it down even further to 5,000 every 3 months. So let's calculate. 5, 10, 15, and it's still the 25. A little less. So then my idea was, okay, so how many $5,000 clients do I need, right? And in the beginning, I did overwhelm myself because I took in a few clients and some of them were great. I had one client that I swear to you, I felt bad. I would call her. Hey, I'm here. How you doing? Sending you pictures, sending you videos. Like, are you okay? Oh, I'm super busy, Daisy. I'm doing fine. You're doing amazing. My life is beautiful. You know, I loved her. She was amazing. You know, and then you had that one client that was so needy that I would sometimes get in bed and I don't want to get out because it was just, I mean, they would make me cry. It was, her life was so unbearable. She was going through so much, and I would put a lot of myself in that, and it was overwhelming. So then I knew that this was a client that I would just have for 3 months because I didn't want to. And my goal is 3 months is what you need in order to get into that spiritual path. If in the 3 months you have not gone into that spiritual path, then there's a mental block, there's a fear, there's something that's, you know. And I had clients that would come, you know, back after 3 months, you know, 6 months later, a year later, they'll be like, hey, Daisy, I'm trying to manifest this. I need you to help me. Let's do this. So it was different. But, you know, that you had certain clients that couldn't get out of that rut. So it was really, really hard because I had to find a way of breaking down their walls, right? So then you have to map out also the energy, which is not something I planned for, because remember, I just was inspired by seeing someone else do this. I never really looked at how much time I was going to give, how much energy I was going to give. So while the cash was wonderful, because think about someone paying you $5,000 for 3 months, and somebody else paying you $5,000, and then somebody else paying, that's 15. And if I took in a fourth person, that's 20 for 3 months. So 3 months, $20,000. In 3 months, I almost made my yearly salary. You understand? You can manifest anything and everything you desire. You just have to bring it down. You have to see the little picture, the blueprint. Because when you think about the 6 figures, the $1 million, it becomes overwhelming. Oh my God, that's a lot of money. But then when you get, like, for instance, my wealth course, I want to make X amount of money. How many do I have to sell to make X amount of money? And then I like to do things, you could do it your way. I see the year, I kind of like map out my year, 6 months to a year, right? And then I have my monthlies, like for instance in Etsy, I'll be like, okay, so we're in March, right? So March, I want to make X amount of money. Etsy, April, May. So I will break down individually. Now I'm at the point is I have multiple businesses, multiple streams, and then I had a job that I really, really love, that I kind of, it's kind of like seasonal, but I really enjoy it. So, you know, you start to learn to do things that make you happy, because then you don't no longer look at life as in struggling to pay the bills, because now you know the truth, you know the wealth energy, though you have the wealth secrets. You know that all you have to do is put pen to paper. So I want you to use this printable for today's lesson. And everybody that I sent this video to will have this printable, and once I put this on YouTube, I will link the printable in the description box so everybody could have this printable of breaking down your desired outcome. And like I said, for those of you that are part of this class, this beautiful wealth class, take notes, because there's things that maybe I won't connect with and I won't touch on that you will in the Zoom class be like, hey Daisy, in lesson 1, I have a question about this. So like I said, Post-its are great. They're at the Dollar Tree. Take this as going to school, and enjoy it. Really enjoy this, because I want you to think that today is the day that you start the richness of your life, that you embark on your wealth journey, that you will no longer want for anything. You'll be universally favored, because not only are you going to use the universal laws of prosperity, of cash flow, but you're also going to learn rituals to unblock karma from your past, from the people around you, protection. I work with certain goddesses for wealth, energies for wealth, meditations for wealth. So my wealth is constantly flowing, because yes, I'm teaching you the basics, but we want to also open up the doorways. It's not just, this is the beginning. Today you are deciding how much cash flow you want. Today is the day that you decide what is the amount you deserve, you want, you desire, and you will manifest. And this, no matter what point in time, this energy is in a 222 energy, which is a divine energy of manifesting, is a divine energy of witnessing that greatness is on your side. You have the Wheel of Fortune because of this divine energy. And like I say, it's all synchronized. Everything that I do with flow, with the laws of the universe in alignment. So no matter when you're doing this, you're receiving that frequency, because Spirit co-created with me to create this course at a very specific time with a very specific energy. And you could be watching this years forth and still attract and still do, because you're taking from the energy, because we are timeless. We are infinite. We have no beginnings and we have no ends. We're forever going. That is divine's image within us. What is your worth? Is it 6 figures? And I want you to really think not just about the money, but think about, because like I said, I started with 6 figures, which at that point felt, like I said, far-fetched. You could manifest millions. It's also leaving the doors open for divine energy to gift you even more than you even thought of. You understand, I do certain projects and certain things, and I set goals for them, but then I give them over to God. I want to make, and that's it. No. This or better. I give it over to you. The reins are yours, oh divine. Because I have been so blessed, and I have seen and witnessed beauty and manifestations and miracles, like surreal, from things that I started, I completed, and I let them go and I forgot about them. And then months, sometimes, I have a book that I wrote in 2010 that still brings me money today. That I did, that's passive income. That's set it and forget it. So it's about allowing the universe to gift you, and then working on the projects, because like I said, I have my Etsy shop that I have a stream that I want from it. I have my 9 to 5. This is not really a 9 to 5, it's a vacation. That I know how much I'm going to bring from it. I have my passive income that I create and don't have to worry about it because it just cash flows to me. So it's like once you get on this beautiful train, this beautiful ship, this beautiful journey, you co-create with the universe that starts showing glimpses of your next. Because, for example, my 2019 was really like working on Etsy, unraveling my spiritual business, but now it's like I'm doing things for my grandbabies because I'm teaching them about finances and about using their art, and that's a whole other stream of income. And at the same time, I'm having fun. So where is your flow coming from? Allow it to be your passion. You know, I'm going to tell you a beautiful story, which is in one of my books, that I don't even think I saw that book anymore. My mother-in-law, she fell in love. She went to school, went to college. You know, of course, in her era, you know, you were supposed to marry money. You know, that's how they were taught. You had to, you know, because women stayed at home with the babies. You know, that was the mentality. You know, she was born 1937, so that was the mentality back then. But her mom also very well taken care of. You know, she, you know, was very blessed to be born in a wealthy family. And her mom, you know, her kids were growing up and she was bored. So her husband, businessman, traveled the world, would bring her clothes from everywhere. And she would sell them. She had a little boutique in her house, which I think is so funny because now people do that on social media. Back then it was barely a telephone, right? We had the rotary phones. So she would have the neighbors and the friends and the social clubs. They would come over and say, hey, I brought designs from Spain, Paris, New York, you know, all over. Because she was this, you know, they're South American. So, you know, her boutique was in her beautiful 2-story estate in South America, and all of these beautiful women would just come. So my mother-in-law grew up around that, and she loved it. She loved the tea time and coffee time, the gossip, you know, the beautiful women coming in, trying these beautiful gowns and dressing up because they were going to go here and there. So she always absolutely loved that. Grew up, went to college, got married, and she went through a rough patch. Her marriage wasn't what she wanted, so she ended up getting a divorce and leaving South America and coming to the United States. And she took that lesson. I mean, mind you, she had college, secretary. I mean, back then women were, you know, secretaries or teachers. You know, she did work. She had a 9 to 5 because she had kids that she had to take care of. But she had her 9 to 5. And with that 9 to 5, she would save every week X amount of money and started buying merchandise and made her own home boutique. The home boutique did so well that she was able to save up $20-something thousand. And mind you, this is in the early 90s. This is not even, it was like 80s, 90s. She opened up her own boutique and she had it until the day she retired. So it's about us seeing what we want, setting that intention, and then being open-minded to what could flow through. Because a lot of you get stuck in I only make this amount of money. This is why this course has to be taken in parts. Because the main lesson today is I want you to be inspired. I want you to know that you could have the amount that you desire. But we are going to get into the unblocking, the clearing that mental fear. Oprah says something, and this is going to sound very racial. Oprah said, if I would have probably gone to a surrogated school, I probably wouldn't have been who I am today. Because she says that back then, the all black schools, they would tell them that, you know, since they were black, they would not amount to anything. They had no rights. And it was even worse if they were women, you know, because not only are you black, but now you are a black woman governed by your husband. So these women were having children. They were not only slave to the the whole racial, idiocy. But then they were also slaves to being the sex that they were, having to take care of their family. It was like a whole level of slavery when you were a woman and a black woman. So she says maybe if I would have gone to a segregated school, I probably wouldn't have done this, because the feeding, that negative dictation, hypnosis, propaganda that's embedded into you as a child is really hard to get rid of. On a positive note, she had people around her that would tell her, you could do this. I think it was her grandmother, I don't remember the specifics of it, but she always, and she says that she was every week in Sunday school. She says that she loved the Bible lessons, the stories, that beautiful magic of you can manifest, have the faith, the whole thing of Jesus and the mustard seed faith. She says that was kind of like her honing energy. If I just have the faith of a mustard seed. And she says that years later, she actually was, saw a mustard seed and how small it was. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Life is going to veer you. I don't say life, I say divinity. I say the Almighty God. However you see the high energy will show you once you get down to it. Decide. Today's homework is you making the decision. You see that? Making the decision. Not I wish, not oh, if I made, or oh, I hope. No. Declaring and making the decision that you are going to make, stream, bring in, allow, flow X amount of cash, of prosperity into your life. And then, because today you don't have to know how you're going to ask for this money. Because like I said, I already knew, because I already had my purpose. I already knew what I was doing. I was reading friends and family. I was already in my purpose. So I knew my purpose. I've been knowing my purpose since I was in second grade. And I feel like many of you do too, but you didn't really, address it or praise it or embrace it. So you feel like, it was something that you thought of, when you were in school. So even if you don't know what your purpose or what it is that you want to do, just focus on that number, and then you want to turn it around and say, I decide today that I will state your number, and I am open to the co-creation of what I need to exchange for X amount. And now you are opening up to the beautiful realm of divinity, of co-creation of the universe, to send you the vibration of creativity of what and how you can co-create the amount that you have decided that you're going to manifest this very year. And I like to say year because I like to give myself the time to flow. I don't like to push, and I do, like I said, I have my monthly goals from, my businesses are, I'm the boss. And my businesses, even though they're not people, because they're businesses, they still hold a vibration that I am the boss. So I command over it. I declare over it. My Etsy shop works for me, not the other way around. So I declare that my Etsy shop will make this amount of money. I set that goal, and I expect my Etsy shop to work overtime and make me that cash flow. Because I'm giving it the time, I'm giving it the love, I'm giving it the attention. So my Etsy shop will make that cash flow. On other things, like my books, I leave it open because they surprise me. My Patreon surprises me because I never know who's going to join. Every month I'll have someone new that wants the Beautiful Venus Weekly, and then they want the prosperity, and before you know it, they have the weekly, the prosperity, the moon box. They want everything, and I allow it. Well, I do have a goal. And then sometimes if they want to be like, I have one that does a 222 because she wants to have all my printables and all the videos, but she doesn't want to pay through Patreon because she knows the Patreon takes a nice chunk of my money. So she will send me money through my PayPal. So everybody, and then I have another one that's even better. She sends me money through Venmo. So, it's being open. So this co-creation energy could send you these inspirations and ideas to bring in that wealth. That's the first lesson, and I want you to really embrace it. Take the printable, print it out, get yourself a binder. I don't have mine in front of me. I got my binder in Zazzle, and I have it on video, so if you're on YouTube, you can look at other videos. Get a binder. I mean, in the beginning, my first binder, I bought at Dollar Tree. It was my binder / vision board, and I put beautiful words that inspired me, flowers because I love flowers, and I just wanted to be very pretty, and quotes, and then I mosh posh the whole thing. I still have it. It's in one of my storage bins. And that was my most beautiful binder, and it was from Dollar Tree, and cuttings from Pinterest and magazines and just things that I found, little drawings and paintings that my granddaughters made, a lot of sparkle, a lot of glitter, because you could do beautiful things with Mosh Posh, and I absolutely love it. And then this time I got I got somebody to make one for me that says my name, my brand on it, and I wrote a little quote on it, and I look at it and it just makes me feel so wealthy, and I love it. So start where you are. Start where you are. You don't have to buy a $30, $40 binder. You get $1 one and make it your own. And let me tell you, that one still to today is so special to me. Just like the journal. When I go get a journal, the journal represents me, makes me happy. I look at it and it just sparks joy. Set the goal for your declared outcome today. Set that goal of how much you want to stream. And don't push yourself. Do the printable, write it down. What you cannot fill out today, it is okay, because these are lessons. And today you might have a blank that you're not going to be able to come back and fill until lesson 5 or 6, because like I said, this course will have different videos, and each video will be one lesson, because I want you to take this all in. And then we're going to connect with beautiful Archangel Michael. Beautiful Archangel Michael, we are all embarking on this wealth journey, and you are divinity, the warrior of God, the protector. We ask that you clear our paths so that we could co-create great wealth in our lives, to cleanse and heal our auras, magnify our intentions with your cobalt blue energy, so that we could witness the signs, the visions, the inspirations from you and all the angels, divinity, so that we may know what path to take, what actions to step into, how to prioritize and organize, so that our intentions that we declare today are coming true. Amen. And so it is. And so is the blessing, so meant to be. Enjoy this lesson. Take it in. And sometimes you might have to rewatch. You don't know how many times there's a video. I have a favorite video, and I will put it on again. I have a book, and perfect example, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I will probably read that book every year. And every time I read it, I grab a new lesson. I didn't remember that. When was this? I love my highlighter. You see little notes in it. I love it. Take the lessons, embrace them, pull them in, enjoy this. Think about this is your class, to the rest of your life, to your bliss, to living in lavish, lush luxuries in your own time and with your own hands. Embrace that, enjoy that, declare that. I will see you in the next lesson. I hope that you enjoy this. And for those of you that have not signed up, I will link the course below. It will be completely available after April 22nd, but the course is already under play. So for those of you that already purchased the course, you will randomly get emails with new lessons. So make sure you get your binders, make sure you get highlighters, pretty pens. You want to be inspired when you enjoy and take this course and start your wealth class. If you're doing this early, like I said, it's only $88.88 in my webpage. That's linked below. It will go up because, like I said, I have a goal that I want to meet. And just like if you take any class, this is because I know, I understand that some of us can't afford. You know, I'm the first one. Like, I loved, you know, Deepak and Oprah's free 21 days because I didn't even have, you know, sometimes I didn't have the $40, $50 to get the whole meditations, you know. It was either get the $50 for the meditations or, and then, and I broke that because then I started noticing that is more important than coffee. It took me a while to be like, mentorship is more important than certain things in life, you know? So this is why, and of course, I'm in a place that now, you know, I'll pay for, you know, mentors to inspire me because they feed my soul, they feed my inspiration. So I'm teaching you that. Always learn. You learn as you will live forever. And you live as if you were to die tomorrow. Really important lesson. I absolutely love that quote from Gandhi. Of course, he says it in another way. I'm a little harsh. But think about that. You learn as you were going to live forever. And you live as this is your last day. Because if you start to live like that, if you start to look at life like, this is my moment now, because now is the truth. Now is what we have in front of us. Not yesterday and definitely not tomorrow. It's right now. And right now you have this gift. Declare it, act upon it, and do it. Make it your own. Sending you love and light, and I will talk to you soon.